In this first lesson, we will be starting with an understanding of what makes green smoothies so unique, so nutritionally special, and how they also satisfy our other lifestyle requirements that make them an outstanding meal choice and nutrition choice. So when it comes to green smoothies, they are one of the most nutrient-dense foods that we can consume, or meals if you prefer to look at it that way. So what makes them so special? Well, first and foremost, we have to understand what is nutrient density. Nutrient density means that our food or meal comes with an outstanding profile of nutrients, gives us a lot of nutritional benefits for very few calories. Or even when the calories are higher, as is the case for some optimally healthy foods, the amount of nutrients, the quality and type of nutrients still make it a nutritionally dense food item. And so when it comes to green smoothies, that's exactly the case with them. They can be very low, naturally low in calories, although you can make them, as we will learn, higher in calories to suit your personal lifestyle needs or personal metabolic needs. Either way, they're going to be packed with nutrients. Nutrients of the macronutrient type, the right carbohydrates, the right fats and proteins, and loaded with micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals. As well as green smoothies are loaded with phytonutrients. And that's something that is still very new for a lot of people. A unique and special group of nutrients that are unique to plant foods only, and specifically whole, fresh, and raw plant foods. So that's really what makes green smoothies so outstanding, as they bring in these phytonutrients that have been proven thus far to be extremely beneficial for our health, for healing various conditions, and also for preventing many others. Some phytonutrients, as well as some vitamins, also are or have antioxidant properties. And these, as we know, are extremely valuable for our health and well-being today as well. While that's the plus side of green smoothies, the standard American diet, or what most people eat, is pretty much the opposite of what a green smoothie meal can provide us with. The standard American diet is pretty much based on processed foods, refined foods, and very heavy in animal foods. Each of these categories of foods provide us with lots of calories and few nutrients. When the nutrients are there, they're either in small amounts, or they bring in the wrong types of fats, the wrong types of carbohydrates, too much protein, which is something that many of us are still perhaps unaware of. We're just getting used to the idea of hearing about. And also, any vitamins or minerals are usually coming from fortified or synthetic sources. By no means the same as what whole, natural food can provide us with. As I teach, if we want optimal health, optimal weight today and for all of our tomorrows to come, the way we eat has to be based on whole foods, plant-based foods, natural foods, fresh foods, raw foods, really that our foods are as least heat treated as possible. Also, organic foods as much as possible, and acid alkaline balanced foods. And when it comes to green smoothies, they satisfy each of these 5 requirements perfectly. To make a green smoothie, we use whole foods. We also are using plant foods, getting the foods in their raw or most natural states, organic whenever possible. And one of the final benefits of why green smoothies are so powerful is that they are one of the best acid alkaline balanced foods. Now, I understand for many of us, the acid alkaline balance is a new topic, so I recommend looking into and learning a little bit about how does this impact your body, as it plays a tremendous role for optimal health and weight, and we'll be talking about that in some of our upcoming lessons. Aside from the nutritional benefits, green smoothies are also one of the easiest and most practical meals to incorporate as part of our everyday lifestyle. For example, while we can get fantastic nutritionally dense meals easily, usually for lunch and dinner, anything like a wholemeal salad, homemade soup, or a beautiful medley of different steamed vegetables and other wholesome ingredients, it does become a little harder when it comes to breakfast for most people. If you think of the average breakfast foods that are promoted in our society, it's usually things like milk and cereal, which are highly refined, processed, and based on animal foods, and fortified or synthetic vitamins and minerals, or things like toast and various jams. Never mind if we start adding the usual bagels or donuts or granola bars, etc. We're looking at mostly refined, processed, highly acidifying foods. Or, of course, there is the all too typical, sometimes called the American breakfast, based on eggs or bacon or sausages, again, usually with some toast and condiments, highly based on animal foods, high in calories, highly acidifying, and has so many other negative qualities that we can talk about in other classes and courses. So when it comes to breakfast, many of us resort to one of these items, when a green smoothie is nutritionally superior to each of those options and really fast and easy to make. To make a typical green smoothie, it takes on average less than 5 minutes. Really as fast as you can wash and peel and put your produce and other ingredients into your blender and click that button to blend is as fast as you can have a green smoothie. So they're very, very quick to make. They're also very easy to make. You don't need to follow any fancy or complicated recipes. Sure, you can look at some at the beginning just to get acquainted with the basics, but that's what you'll be learning all about in this course. But once you really get the general hang of it, or just a general pattern of what's required, they are super easy to make. So whether you're trying to rush out the door to your work or whether you're trying to get kids ready for school, the green smoothie can be incorporated really into any lifestyle and enjoyed as a whole meal breakfast, or really enjoyed as any meal throughout the day or a snack throughout the day. So there's many uses for it, and always it serves as a quick and practical meal idea. Green smoothies are also economically sound. When many people today think of smoothies or shakes, what comes to mind usually are some kind of powdered formulas. And many people are familiar with those and love them because they know already how fast, quick, and easy they can be to prepare. However, the green smoothies that we will be talking about and learning how to create and understand why they're so powerful for our health and well-being don't depend on any additional powders, no refined processed powders, even the healthiest ones. And you may be familiar with names like Sun Warrior, Vega, Garden of Life, or Living Fuel. These would be really the only ones that I would mention, as at least they are nutritionally sound enough or healthy enough. They are based on the right ingredients and don't have the additives that so many of the nutritional supplement shakes and meal products have out there today. Undesirable ingredients of all sorts, anything from added sugars, artificial sugars, colors and flavors, genetically modified ingredients, and so many other unfavorable ingredients. You may be thinking, okay, so are those the types of smoothies that I would be making, just buying one of these high quality powdered shake products and reconstituting that with some water or juice? And the answer is absolutely not. We don't need to include any of those. I mean, we can if there's a need for it and a special time and place can be found for them. But for your daily green smoothie, absolutely not. Those types of products are not very economically sound. Usually per serving, they cost anywhere from $2 to $6 on average. Now, the average green smoothie, when you add up the typical ingredients, will cost you about $2 for a good, wholesome, filling meal. Because what we have to understand about so many of those powdered products is that they are usually mixed with more than just water. Many people add a nut milk or some fruits or other ingredients to them, which raises their cost even more. And even when they are used on their own, just with water, they rarely are satisfying or rarely leave us feeling that we really did have a full, wholesome meal that leaves us satisfied and can actually sustain us for several hours. So these types of factors have to be taken into consideration. We have to understand also that those types of products are not real foods. They may come from whole foods, and that's why the ones I mentioned do typically tend to have high quality profiles coming at some point from whole natural foods that are non-GMO, often organic, etc. But again, they can't compete with real, whole, fresh food. So green smoothies are an outstanding nutritional choice. They're quick and easy to make and also economically sound.